Hey Shooby Doodlers, how are you doing? Today I'm going to read you a story from my book Monster Boy called Ogre Outrage. But let's not talk about it. Let me read it to you.
Monster Boy, Book 3, Ogre Outrage. This bike is pathetic, Connor moaned. MB2 was a state-of-the-art carbon fibre monocoque power-assisted wonder bike, but it was a little bit small. It's really good in tight places, Connor's mum explained patiently. Connor's mum was the mechanic at the Pedal O bike hire shop where she looked after Connor's amazing top-secret monster bikes. Connor's dog Trixie sniffed the wheels. "There's no room for Trixie," Connor grumbled. Mum pulled open the hatch at the back. "Yes, there is." "Well, there's no room for sandwiches." Connor was not happy with the new bike. "I'd made you nice, small sandwiches," Mum smiled. "What? They're not proper sandwiches," Connor moaned. "They fit perfectly under the saddle," said Mum. "And anyway, you should be grateful to have any sandwiches at all. Bread has become hard to get since the baker left town." Just then, Connor's MyPod bleeped. Bleep, 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 bleep. "Mission alert to Monster Boy, number 1 agent from Mission Control, Ministry of Monsters. Subject: an ogre is on the rampage in the Dark Hills. He's not getting his daily bread and is making him grumpy. Please investigate immediately. Be careful. He is very grumpy. Good luck, Ministry of Monsters. This message will self-erase in 15 seconds. "I know how the ogre feels," Connor muttered as he climbed into the saddle of MB2. "Wait a second." Mum pressed a button on the control panel. This is the really good bit. A small electronic screen popped up on the handlebars. "Satellite navigation," she announced. Connor perked up. "Wow, that's amazing! Come on, Trix, get your helmet on. We can try it out right now." The sat-nav unit plotted a route to the Dark Hills. Bing! "Mission alert, MyPod info. The Dark Hills." The Dark Hills were the site of ancient iron mining over 1,000 years ago. Magnetic forces in the iron are powerful enough to make clocks run slow and affect electronic equipment. Radios in the area can only pick up Russian pop music stations. "It'll be a good test," Connor's mum said, "but make sure you stick to the path and follow the route on the sat-nav." She looked nervous as she waved goodbye to her son. Not everyone who went into the Dark Hills came out again. "Don't worry, Mum, I'll be fine," Connor yelled as he pedalled off. Connor's mum was a gargoyle, so Connor was half monster himself. His code name was Monster Boy. If anyone could look after himself, Connor could. The Dark Hills looked like their name sounded. Hundreds of small, dark red hills created a tangled web of narrow paths between them. Trixie leaned out of her hatch, took in the view, and growled a warning. Brrr. "The sat-nav says to go straight ahead. We can't get lost," Connor reassured her. "Hold on tight. Here we go." Mum was right. In the tight pathways between the hills, MB2 steered like a dream. Soon they were right in the middle of the maze of hills. "Haven't we passed that tree before?" Connor wondered. A minute later he skidded to a halt. "That's the 3rd time we've passed that tree," Connor said as he tapped the sat-nav. The map swung round on the screen and pointed in a different direction. "Oh, great! We're lost!" And Connor's MyPod beeped. Ding! At least that was working. "It's a message from Dad," said Connor. Connor's dad was Gary O'Goyle, the world-famous mountain bike champion. He always sent messages at the most unhelpful times. "Hi, son. I'm having a great time at the All-Ireland Mountain Bike Challenge. It's great to be back home, staying with your granny. She sends her love. And here's a picture of us having a picnic. Lots of love, Dad." They've got nice big sandwiches. "Oh, great," said Connor. "Granny gives him proper sandwiches. There's no bread shortage there." Then Trixie barked, "Woof!" and stared into the distance. Rrrr. She'd heard something. Soon Connor heard it too. A slow, dragging thump of heavy feet on the soft ground. Then a rasping, booming voice filled the air. "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." "It's the ogre," Connor squeaked, and he doesn't sound very happy. Connor slammed MB2 into power assist mode and screeched off down the path, spraying mud and leaves behind him. Connor felt the thud of heavy footsteps through the ultralight carbon fibre bike frame. The sat-nav map swung round in manic circles. It was useless. Connor had no idea which way to go. The ogre loomed out of nowhere, blocking the path. "He was behind me a second ago," Connor thought as he slammed the bike into a half-brake skid. And however scared he was, Connor couldn't help but be impressed with the way the bike handled. This gives you more information about MB2. The small carbon fibre body of MB2 works best in narrow and twisty environments. It has pop-up satellite navigation. Backpack suitable for small dog and very small sandwiches. Ultra-lightweight titanium wheels. Ultra-lightweight carbon fibre body. And the MB2 sat-nav, or GPS, shows the current location by using up to 7 orbiting satellites. But it can be confused by strong magnetic forces. Uh-oh. The ogre waved a large knobbly club above his large knobbly head. His teeth were broken and green with scum. Stiff, bristly hairs poked out of his ears, and his nostrils flared in his piggy-like snout. He wasn't the prettiest ogre that Connor had ever seen, but he was probably the angriest. Trixie barked wildly, "Woof, woof, 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 woof," as the ogre's huge, lumbering footsteps brought it closer and closer, the air filled with its constant growling chant. "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." Connor shifted into 15th gear. The pedals stiffened, his calf muscles tensed. He gripped the handlebars tightly, slipping and sliding his amazing new bike through 90-degree turns. He was accelerating faster than any other bike could have managed on the pathways of the lonely, dark hills. But it was no use. He could feel the ogre's hand almost upon him. He was exhausted. His aching body was powerless. The path was too steep. He was finished. Trixie barked, "Woof!" and snapped at the giant hand that yanked Connor out of the saddle. Yap, 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 yap. The ogre held Connor up by the back of his trousers. He licked his lips and smiled. "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman." The ogre laughed, showering Connor in yellow spit and foul breath. "Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones too." And then an idea popped into Connor's head. Actually, he said, I'm half Irish. Huh? The ogre looked confused. Yeah, Connor tried playing it cool. And my mum's a gargoyle. Gargoyle? The ogre yelped. But gargoyle tastes disgusting. He let go of Connor as if he were poison. And then he looked at Trixie and smiled. Dog is good. But Trixie unfurled her wings and flew to the top of a tree. Huh? The ogre grumbled. Not a proper dog. Would you like to share my sandwiches? Connor asked casually. The ogre smiled. Bread. Here we have the MyPod Monster Identifier program. It tells you all about the ogre. Distinguishing features: knobbly head, hairy ears, and filthy teeth. Ugh. Preferred habitat: caves. Essential information: ogres are all noise and no action. However, they are keen to keep up their fearsome reputation, so they might pretend to eat you. Ogres like to live quietly in their caves, cooking, cleaning, and sewing interesting clothes. They do not like to be disturbed. Danger rating 4. So, which do you prefer? Connor asked as he handed the ogre one of his tiny sandwiches. Grinding bones or making bread? Bread. The ogre growled happily as he popped the tiny sandwich into his huge, dribbling mouth. Good. If you show me the way home, Connor bargained, I've had an idea that just might interest you. A few weeks later, Connor and his mum were finishing their shopping in the supermarket. I wonder if they got any bread for your sandwiches yet, said Mum. Monster bread, Connor roared in an ogreish sort of way, and he pointed to a display of giant-sized loaves of bread. There was an enormous cardboard cutout of the ogre with a sign that read, New Monster bread, baked fresh every day by your local friendly ogre. Mum raised her eyebrows. You'd need a much bigger bike if you had sandwiches that size, she joked. Connor smiled sweetly. Well, it's funny you should say that, because I've been thinking for a while that I really could do with a much bigger bike. Sadly, that's the end, but click up here and I'll read you some more Monster Boy stories.
I have a question for you. What is your favourite monster? And do you think that Monster Boy could sort him out? Put your answers in the comments box below. I'm sure you'd like to have your own copy so that you can read along. Try your library, you never know your luck. Otherwise, there are links below to Amazon and my own website where you can get a signed copy with a free poster. In the meantime, keep reading, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye-bye.